Hey guys, how you doing? Good morning. So, I've been meaning to make this video for a while. I've just been pushing it. I'm currently in my backyard making the video though, and I saw a response to a post on Instagram my friend made, Super Slim Bobo, and he was trying to give his take and his comments on the fact that um, um, Christian creatives or Christian designers, in quotes, should have nothing to do with club flyers and all of that. I saw it and it was quite interesting to me. So I decided to make my research to actually demystify some of these claims, and I found out two things. All right. So we'll first break down the term Christian creative or Christian designer, because it's mostly common amongst graphic designers, all right, that have seen recently. All right. So according to the research, I found out that a Christian creative can be defined in two ways. So you're either um, a creative who just does faith-based designs, meaning you just design for churches, flyers, church conferences, and all of that. Christian creative, one. Right. The second definition, or the flip side to being a Christian creative, is you're a Christian creative that you you make designs in such a way that it is influenced by your faith. All right. Designs are influenced by faith, meaning someone can identify that, okay, it's a Christian creative that designed this from what the design looks like, meaning there has to be symbols or elements in that design that depicts that this was done by a Christian. All right. So if you go by these two definitions, it means a Christian creative should have no business designing logos. A Christian creative should have no business designing marketing flyers for brands. A Christian creative should have no business, or a Christian designer should have no business doing UI UX, because these forms of designs are secular and will not in any way tolerate any form of faith reflecting on it, because of their wide range of audience. All right. And this is where it actually comes back to bite you guys in the ass. The fact that you will out of being zealous project your faith as as the facade for incompetence. That's what most Christian creatives, or I will not say Christian creatives, because I don't really believe it should be a term. Because if you're saying Christian creative, you're also saying Christian lawyers, you're also saying Christian engineers, you're saying Christian doctors, you're saying Christian this, Christian that. All right. And I've not really heard in those professions where there's a category of people called Christian whatever. Yes, there can be an association, all right, of Christian professionals in that particular stuff, but it's not something that is a term or a niche or a a a recognized section of that particular profession. All right. So, and that is where I want to hinge on and come from. All right. Yes, you're a Christian, you're also a creative. Those two truths can hold at the same time. All right. But when you now flag the whole faith and religion stuff and you don't back it up with competence, then there's a problem. There's a very, very big problem. I've seen so many creatives who are Christians who have very, very disastrous workflows and work etiquette. Very, very disastrous. When I mean disastrous to like raise to power 100. All right, but you see them come out and, oh, I'm a Christian creative, I'm a Christian creative this, I'm a Christian creative that. Like, I most of the time want to bury my head in shame, because there's no integrity, there's no character at all. Generally speaking, there is no character. Like, there is zero character. And most of the time this comes to slap us back in the face, because as someone who projects himself as a Christian creative, there are so many there are so many caveats to it, that you get to now be placed on a very, very high pedestal, where people tend to have this um, um, high hopes of how they'll be treated, and you end up defaulting. You don't meet deadlines, you're not true to your word, you end up copying somebody's design and placing it as your own. You just do so many things that are just out of line. You end up telling lies to your clients and all of that, things that are not just ethical. I'm taking my time to actually demystify this, because we are getting to an age where anybody can just wake up and opens up a new niche and say, oh, this is a new niche, this is a new this thing, and people just clamor for it, especially people who don't really take their time to do their research. They just, oh, okay, this is something, someone said this, so let's embrace it. And in the real sense of it, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to me at all. It doesn't make sense to me at all. The Bible says, let your light so shine that men may see. So it's not let your name, or let your what you call yourself so shine. It's your light. All right. People need to see that light, not what you call yourself, because you can call yourself whatever it is you want to call yourself: Christian creative, Christian king creative, whatever it is you want to call yourself. But when there's no light, you end up being like people in darkness. Do you understand? And that's what most of these people who claim to be Christian creative eventually do. You even want to prefer working with a Muslim, or working with someone who doesn't really identify as a Christian creative, an atheist or an agnostic, right? Because you believe to an extent what they can do and what they can't do, compared to someone who calls himself a Christian creative, who is unreliable, who you can't trust, who is not even creative in the first place, right? It's a lot. It's a bunch of things that don't really make sense. But who am I to say any different? All right. So yeah, you're right. Christian creatives should have nothing to do with designing club flyers. You're 100% right, and they should have nothing to do with secular designs. When I mean secular designs, I mean anything that doesn't have Jesus or God centered all around it. All right. So it could be politics, it could be finance, it could be whatever niche of profession, all right, that requires your services as a graphics designer. It should not be there. It should just depend solely on designing for churches, church brands, church merch, and the rest. And let's see how that works for you. All right. So please, let's really stay guided with the truth, not by feelings or shallow knowledge that